Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, the top story, of course, is tariffs. The tariff negotiations are taking place. The Trump administration claims they have heard from 50 countries who want to discuss tariffs and how we reduce them and how we make them go away, including Elon Musk suggesting we have zero tariffs between us and Europe. I love that idea. And then we've got Taiwan. Taiwan wants to talk. They want to talk about eliminating all tariffs for them. That's a good thing. And then China, well, they leveled some tariffs back at us, and Trump says he's going to increase by 50%. So China wants this battle to go on. Trump's sticking to his guns. And let's talk about the stock market. And the stock market is down. It started the day down. It recovered a little bit. I don't know what's going on right now. By the way, Kroger stock's up. But back to the stock market. The stock market goes up, it goes down, it goes up, and it goes down. And a temporary dip like this, followed by a roar, will be okay. But there's no way of shaking it, and Trump would agree with this, that when the stock market goes down, if you have borrowings against stock, you have people that are relying upon the value of a stock for financing a small business, it's an issue. But I'm all for this. It's easy for me to say because I'm not in the stock market, of course. Full disclosure, I'm not in the stock market. But the bottom line is that I think that long term, this is going to be fabulous. And I think short term, when he negotiates these deals, everything's going to be okay. Donald Trump met with Chris Sununu at the White House. He is the former governor of New Hampshire who hated Trump. But in the past year, he's warmed up. They've met. Trump says, I hope he runs. I'll support him. Politics make strange bedfellows, as they once said. But that's a smart move by Trump and Sununu. U.S. fisheries say they're going to benefit from all these tariffs. They don't have to compete with those foreign fisheries. And Mike Johnson's going to pick up the Senate budget bill, see what we can do with it. We'll see how that rolls out. Chevron, a jury's awarded $744 million for Chevron to pay the lower part, south coast of Louisiana, for what they've done to all their water tributaries, so forth and so on. It's a lot of money. And Camping World's CEO, there's apparently lawsuits complaining about the American flag flying. He says we will keep the American flag. That'll be good for his business. And the Supreme Court, in a 5-4 decision, says Trump can cut off the $64 billion headed to teachers, education, special fund. I think it's billion, maybe million, whatever it is. But this is probably million. But this is very important for you to know. Roberts voted with the libs, just so you know. Amy Coney Barrett did not. Those Amy Coney Barrett haters. Doge is landed at Peace Corps on Friday. We'll see what they come up with Peace Corps. Can you imagine the waste that goes on to Peace Corps? And Barack Obama, according to Hunter Biden and these sources, Barack Obama was asked to intervene on behalf of Burisma where there's special overlap of their needs. By the way, Barack Obama also has admitted that he and Michelle are in a bad place in their marriage due to him being in the White House for 4 years. Walmart, this blew me away. Walmart says they've got managers making as much as $620,000, manager of a store, so they feel like it's their own. Man, that's good money. That's lawyer, doctor money. That's incredible. So all of you want to be a Walmart guy, go to Walmart if you got half a brain. Maybe I'll go to Walmart. Gulf oil gas leases in Gulf of America are going to be sold by the President Trump. And Amazon announced that the Trump brand store is now available on Amazon. Buddies, I'm making deals. In world news, OPEC, 8 OPEC countries are boosting oil to 400,000 plus barrels a day. Netanyahu visits the White House today. I predict that they're going to announce zero tariffs. Iran currencies plummeting. Good. Russian economy's faltering. Inflation's up 50%. Good. And the Iranian Ayatollah connected newspaper called for bullets to be, don't you love the way they phrase things? I'm sure it's interpretation or translation. Bullets to be fired into Trump. They want bullets to be fired into Trump. And pop culture. I watched the final episode of 1923 last night, and it was freaking amazing. It was epic. It was action. It was love. It was drama. It was off the charts. Go Spencer and Alex. What a story they told. And White Lotus, they finished up last night too on their episode. I wondered what was going to happen, just like you, but I'm not going to be a buzzkill, but I thought they wrapped it up pretty well. I thought it was kind of slow going this year, but they ended well. Jay North, who was Dennis the Menace, may he rest in peace. He passed away at 73. And Bill Murray got escorted out of a movie theater complaining about somebody stepping on his foot, calling it an assault. He was hot under the collar. And this Illinois teacher pictured here, Christina Fernella, 30 years old, apparently was fooling around with a 15-year-old. I got to ask this question. And I only know one case where the kid kept his mouth shut. Sarah York's now husband. Why would you ever think that a 15-year-old isn't going to say something or his mom and dad are going to find out? Insane. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, take two. Brad Pitt's apparently going to do it with Quentin Tarantino. And Russell Brand has been charged in Britain for rape. He says he's not a rapist. I believe him. Russell Brand is a character, but I believe him. You know, a woman that wants money can claim that it wasn't consensual when it was consensual. Of course, there's rapes too. I just believe Russell Brand. Sports Without Boundaries. The NCAA Finals is tonight at 9 p.m. It will have Houston versus Florida. Houston came back with like a minute 20 left, down by 7, and beat Duke 70-67. Last 10 minutes of the game, Duke only had one field goal. It was crazy. And Cooper Flagg had a chance to tie the game at the end, and he missed a shot. Florida versus Auburn, 79-73. That was a hell of a game. Florida came back 8 down at half. Alex Ovechkin scored his 895th goal, and that beats total goals of the great one, Wayne Gretzky. However, Wayne Gretzky has far more assists, blah, blah, blah. He declined to do it on empty net. That was classy. Brown Stadium. They doled out $120,000 to Republican legislatures before asking for a new stadium. Unbelievable. Bruce Pearl and Rick Pitino are co-coaches of the year. I think it's the only time there was ever a tie. And Cooper Flagg is now going to head to the NBA. He was named the John Wooden Player of the Year before the semifinals. Hall of Fame basketball announced, leading the class is Carmelo Anthony, well-deserved. And UConn women beat South Carolina 82-59. I think it's their 12th national championship. And Roberta Clemty, they had a little memorial out there in right field. They took it down. Pittsburgh says they'll put it back up. $60,000 have been raised for the Texas killer of the Austin Metcalf. You can't make this up. $60,000. We can't raise that for Durrani victims. It's insane. And the Masters begins this week. Shakespeare insult of the day: do not be a feeble, ill-bred whoreson. Do not be a feeble, ill-bred whoreson. And we're adding Latin quip of the day. Your Latin quip of the day is de inimico non luceris sed cocitus. What does that mean? Don't wish ill on your enemy, plan it. I've written that in some letters. Every dog has their day. I hope today is yours.